See if my signal's gonna work tonight. Hopefully we won't have technical difficulties like we had last week. I know we're a week early, so see how this goes. If somebody comment, let me know what's up. What's up, YouTube? It's Chase and Bass. He's watching the Your Lake Fork Guy live stream. Appreciate it, Chase. What up, big dog? Hey, is that air conditioner really annoying? Because it's super hot in here, but I will turn it off and sweat for y'all if I need to. Just watching the Lake Fork Guy video. What is cracking, everybody? How are y'all doing tonight? Joe Mojo Fishing says he lost his LFT hat. He wants me to send him one. Joe, I will definitely get you another LFT hat. You know that, buddy. Anytime. What's up, Greg Stacy, Grant Bell, Bass Fishing Central, Donnie Smith Jr., Nick Cavazos, Kyle Robinson, Yama 231, and of course, like I said, Chase and Bass. Chase, was that a pretty good imitation, bro? Was that a pretty good imitation that I did of you? I hope it was quality. Hey, I've got a question already. What's the best size football jig to use this time of year at Fork? Okay, that is a fairly simple question for me to answer. I use on a football jig, when I'm fishing a football jig, I'm fishing it out deep. And I almost always use 3/4 ounce. If it's really, really windy, like it is in this garage right now, then sometimes I use a 1 ounce. But most of the time, 3/4 ounce, that's my standard go-to on football jig. Thank you for the question, Dan Bunch. Let's see, Bass Fishing Central. Are you able to come to Fort Benning, Georgia? Because I'm moving way up to Pennsylvania in August. I'm wondering if I can make, there is zero chance that I can make it there in the next month, buddy. I have so much going on right here, right now. I wish I could. I would definitely love to come out to Fort Benning, hang out with you guys. You know, former military guy, I'm always down to hang out with my brothers in arms. Chase, I'm glad that you like my invitation. Chase, at least you know this. I'm watching your videos, bro, because I can almost imitate your intro perfectly. What's going on, YouTube? You're like the hyper version of Mountain Man from Duck Dynasty when you start your videos. I just want you to know that. That's what comes to mind when I see you, bro. Number love, Chase. Appreciate you watching tonight. Doing any night trips? Yeah, I mean, for sure in August. If somebody wants a night trip, I'm down like a prom dress to do a night trip. So, I have not done any Lake Fork night trips yet this year. Probably definitely going to do some, especially around the full moon in August, which is coming up here in just probably another couple weeks, so a week or two. Going to Louisville this weekend. The last weekend went to Louisville. I'm assuming that you're trying to spell out Louisville, but autocorrect is kicking your tail. Somebody says, I'm going to Louisville this weekend. Last weekend we went to Louisville and caught slim to no fish. We tried deep points, blah, 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 blah. That's funny because I know he was trying to type Lake Louisville because that's in Dallas. And nobody goes to Louisville to go bass fishing. So, Lake Louisville, man, I'm going to tell you what, guys. So, let's talk about fishing big lakes in general right now and fishing Lake Fork for me. Now, don't get me wrong. There are guys that are absolutely crushing fish on Lake Fork right now. You know, it always happens. There's always somebody who's got them dialed in and is hammering on them. And Lake Fork just has so many fish, somebody's hammering. But right now, for me, Lake Fork is just been brutal about the last 10 days. I mean, it has been, I can't even say it's been inconsistent because it's been very consistently stupid difficult for me. Last week to 10 days, it's been really tough. I've been hearing from a lot of guys that all lakes are that way. It's nothing out of the ordinary, guys. It's the end of July. It's fixing to be August. It's been 100 degrees dang near every day for the last couple weeks. The water temps, some of them on Lake Fork, the water temp surface temps are 95 degrees. That's about as hot as Lake Fork ever gets. It's just a tough time of year. It's extreme weather. Now, there's ways to catch them, and there's guys that got them figured out. But I ain't one of them right now. And that's one thing about me. You guys always know I'm going to tell you the truth, whether I'm catching them or not. So, Joe Lehue struggling on Louisville. Man, I'm sorry, bro. It's a bad time of year to catch fish, the way it is. Yeah, Greg Stacy. My fish have lockjaw too, bro. So today, if any of you guys came over from Facebook where I just posted that picture, I caught a big fish today. I caught a lot of fish today, but we were not on Lake Fork. My good buddy, Zach Hughes, a fellow guide on Lake Fork, he also is a hunting guide as well. He does some deer hunts and duck hunts and such as that. So he has some land that he manages. And we went out to a lake that was on some of that land. So it's a private lake. Nobody's fished it for a month. We went out there and we, of course, crushed them. So we're going to have some good videos coming up. But they're from Zach's property that he manages on a private lake. But it'll be good videos. We had a lot of fun, that's for sure. Me and Zach are good buddies, and we give each other a hard time. And we actually did a little competition between each other. So you guys can look forward to that coming up. First one of those videos will go up tomorrow. Have I ever been hog hunting, and would you be down to go? Because I bet Rob would take you. Yeah, I mean, I've been hog hunting. Man, I'm a bass head, you know? Like, I like hunting. I just would rather be fishing. Like on a daily basis, if I have to make that choice, do I want to go hunt hogs today, or do I want to go try to catch a bass? It's always a bass. Who called me? Somebody gave me a new nickname, Billy Flutterspoon Lawson. I've been throwing the flutter spoon a lot. I have been throwing the flutter spoon a lot, that's for sure. Magnolia, Texas in the house. Back there around my old stomping grounds in Magnolia. Somebody says it's been tough up here in Oklahoma. We're supposed to get a storm followed by a cool front. Hopefully it will happen. Yes, Nick, I hope that happens for you. I wish you would send some of that down here to the Texas part of the world because, man, it's been brutal. Somebody asked me some good questions. What do y'all want to know? Ask me something about me. You want to know military question, Marine Corps question, life question. You want to know what the meaning of life, what is the secret to happiness? Just ask me a question. I'll try my best to answer it. Oh, well, I won't try. I will give you an answer. You may not like it, but I'll give you an answer. Alright, here we go. Do you have any tips for a flooded river that I've never fished? A flooded river? I mean, no. Go somewhere else? I don't know, man. It would depend on like how flooded, what's the current situation, what kind of cover is it. Like, there's so many variables left in there. That's a very hard question to answer. How's the wife doing? The wife is doing great. She's actually been working outside in the yard all day today, so she's feeling really good today. She's in the radiation cycle. She's getting radiation Monday through Friday every day of the week. She's done with chemo. Seems to be doing much better now that she's off of chemo. And once we get through the radiation cycle, which will be another 3 weeks, I think, at this point, maybe 4. After that, we'll get to find out, you know, what the long-term prognosis is. So right now, we're expecting long-term prognosis to be good. So we will see how that goes. Thank you for asking. Appreciate it so much. And yeah, she's doing well. Praise the Lord. Thank God for that, man. I couldn't live without her. You guys would not get the Your Lake Fork Guide YouTube videos if it wasn't for my wife, so we need her to be alright. Have I ever heard of Purtis Creek? If so, have you fished it? Yes, I've heard of Purtis Creek. Yes, I fished it, but I was a kid with my dad, and it was awesome, but that's been a long time ago. Am I a Dallas Cowboys fan? Hell yeah, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. What are you talking about? Am I a Dallas Cowboys fan? Look, I'm a kid from the generation that the Oilers left town. You know, the Oilers left town when I was a kid, and so there was one NFL football team. Oh, and by the way, they won 3 Super Bowls during that period. So, yes, I'm a Cowboys fan. Of course. Somebody says, the secret to being happy is fat bottom girls. Big Bass, that is. Yes, fat bottom girls do make the world go round, Larry Sackett. I mean, I was just a skinny lad. I never knew no good from bad. I know what song you're referring to, and I like it. Can I talk about rods? Specifically, the different kinds of carbon rods and how, oh my God. Wow, that is a very, very technical question. Man, I do not know the science behind rods. I'm kind of a old school kind of guy. I know I do all the social media stuff, but believe it or not, I'm a very old school kind of guy. So for me, like, I never worried about, you know, what is the IM6, IM7, IM8, the nano graphite or nano carbon or carbon fiber. Like, I didn't worry about any of that. I worried about what does it feel like in my hand, how much power does it have, and will it break? Like, that's my 3 factors for picking a rod. Does it feel good in my hand? Does it have the power that I desire for the technique I'm going to use this rod for? And you can kind of over the years get a feel for that by feeling the tip on the rod and everything. And then the third thing is it going to break? And if it does, what kind of warranty does it have? So, that being said, the good thing for me is now I found a rod that I'm very, very, very extremely, cannot explain to you guys how happy I am with the rods that I'm fishing this year. By the way, was very pleased with my Dobyns rods. I used to be on the Dobyns Pro staff, and I have nothing bad to say about Dobyns rods. They're very good rods, but the Limit rods are an even better fit for me. That's why I left the Dobyns rods and went to the Limit rods. I, you know, love them. I mean, yeah, they are made out of some of those fancy words that I can't pronounce, and I know they're made out of super high-end components. Same components that some of the $300 and $400 rods are made out of, but these are $150, $130. But the biggest thing to me is they feel really good in my hands. They're really light. They're, even on their lighter action rods, on their medium heavies and stuff like that, there is a ton of power in those rods, which is very important to me at Lake Fork. And then the other thing is, which I found out because I actually got to sample one of these rods like a year ago, and I had it in my boat for a long time before I made this decision, and I put that rod to the test day in, day out, and beat the heck out of it. Really, they're very tough, very, very durable, well-built rods. So, you know, that's kind of the 3 things I look at. But the Limit rods, man, they're bad, dude. They are. Did I say Limit rod? Not lemon, Limit. Like, I'm gonna catch a limit in every tournament I ever fish. A limit rods. Somebody said lemon rods. That's pretty funny. You guys are throwing. Y'all answered the bell on the questions because I'm having a hard time keeping up. All right, here is another question. Any suggestions on a small lake with a lot of grass around the banks? By the way, great job on the vidges. Thank you. Alright, so small lake, a lot of grass on the bank. So, I'm going to think that's visible cover. Grass is always something fish like. They're going to utilize that in the summer. Keep in mind, guys, we're in the time of year where it's going to be hard. You know, no matter, even if you do everything right, it's still going to be hard. But what I would do is when I find those grass edges around, I'm going to look for little points. I'm going to look for one thing you can do. This little top secret guide trick right here. Y'all don't tell nobody, okay? So one of the things that you can do that will really help you on a grass line like that, on a hard line of grass, is look where that grass is kind of spreading out from the bank and where the line is. Where it cuts in real tight to the bank, guess what that means? There is deeper water closer to that grass. Because the reason it's cutting in is because the bank is dropping off steeper and all that grass is growing out to the same depth. So where it cuts in and the grass is actually narrower, that means there's deep water right there in front of it because the bank's dropping steeper so it can't grow out as far. Now, I'm not telling you to fish that part where it's narrow. They might be in there. But primarily the areas that I like are on either side of where that grass gets real skinny to the bank and that water drops off deep. I like to fish right on the points that creates with the grass line because there's an underwater point. You know, there's structure that's creating a point right there as well, or at least a ledge of some sorts. So there's your little trick, breaking down that grass line on that small lake. Haha! Oh, Laney sending me a shout out. Thank you, Laney. I appreciate that. That's old Magnolia, Texas. That's my homeboy. That's my people down there. Down there from my hometown area. Billy, what's up, man? Hope you're having a good week. Go catch some donkeys for me while I'm out of commission. Hey, Matt, I caught one today. Hopefully, Lord willing, we'll catch one the next day and the next day. So right now, man, anything's a blessing because the fishing has been tough. But we are grinding on them. Just grinding on them. Best cheap reel equals Academy H2O reels. What you talking about, Jack? What you talking about? Yeah, you're right, by the way. That is one of the best cheap reels. Very good. How do you target submerged bridges? Do you just rely on the graph to let you know where the fish are, or do you target the channel or the roadbed? Well, yes, yes, and yes. I definitely rely on the graph to show me what I'm fishing on deeper water structure like a roadbed or a submerged bridge. And I do fish both the bridge and the roadbed at different times. You know, in the winter, they tend to congregate to that concrete. In the fall and the winter, they really tend to start getting on the bridge part of it a lot. You know, just kind of the seasonal rotation of it. In the summertime, I like to look for the highest spot. And the highest spot on that roadbed is going to be the top of the roadbed itself, not necessarily the bridge. A lot of times that bridge is going to be in really deep water. There are exceptions to this rule. That's why I have to use my graph. Sometimes that bridge will top out in 15 foot of water, and when that's the case, that's great summer structure. But most of the time, the highest place is going to be on the roadbed. So right now in the summertime, those fish tend to want to suspend right up off the brakes on the top of that roadbed, and that's kind of what I look for. Use my electronics to verify those brakes and how those fish are relating to them, and let that tell me how I'm going to go about fishing for those fish and trying to get them to bite. What conditions do you fish those suspended fish? Somebody asked, what conditions do I fish a hair jig? Because it was this old Jay Laugh, he was with me yesterday. He saw a hair jig on the deck of my boat and I never fished it. But we really didn't see, if you remember Jay Laugh, we didn't see those fish. They weren't suspended. The fish that we were fishing for on that offshore structure were down on the bottom. That's why I never picked up that hair jig. For me, the hair jig is a suspended fish deal. I like those fish to be up off the bottom. With big bait around them, you know, big gizzard shad, some bait that really shows up big on the electronics there. And when they're suspended, I like to take that hair jig and just, you know, kind of swim it up through them, burn that reel handle, and then let it flutter down. And burn that reel handle and let it flutter down. Sometimes we'll give it a little snatch or two like a flutter spoon. Most of the time we're just burning it up, letting it fall. So it's kind of a suspended fish trick. Somebody says they're going to trade 2 Snoopy rods and a SpongeBob for a fishing trip. Sounds like a pretty good deal. I like that. Somebody asked, what do you mean roadbeds? So what do I mean by roadbeds? So a roadbed is actually like if you're on a big lake and it's got a bridge going across. On almost every single one of those, there was a road there before that lake was built. So on one side or the other of where that bridge is now, there will be an old road that runs under the lake, and usually that road crossed a creek. The same creek that filled that lake up, that road went across. And so there'll be a bridge down there where it went across that creek before the lake was built, and you can actually fish that bridge and that road bed If you think pretty much every road has a high spot on it because there's a bar ditch on either side. Usually drops off the side of any road that you're going across, especially when it gets down into the bottom of a creek channel like that. There's going to be a drop off. So we're talking about old roads that existed before the lake was impounded and now have water over the top of them, bridges, stuff like that. No, I don't put a trailer on a hair jig. Those hair jigs that I'm fishing are big hair jigs. They're like 6 to 8 inch long hair jigs. They're actually the Smash Deck hair jig. Smash Deck makes a good offshore hair jig. As far as a weedless hair jig, guys, I'm not the guy to ask about hair jigs, to be honest with you. I am very, very novice at them. I've caught some fish on them, but not a lot. It's something I kind of started playing around with last year a little bit. Been trying to play around with more this year. It's not something I have a lot of knowledge on, but I mean, just basic rudimentary stuff that you can find anywhere. Somebody asked, does he might make a weedless hair jig? I have no idea. I've never seen one, but there could very easily be one out there that I don't know about. Not the roads in Fannin County. That's awesome. What is my favorite vintage lure? Favorite vintage lure. I guess that would mean, you know, what would qualify as vintage. You know, I actually I fished with one today. It is an old lure. Kind of started the whole stick bait revolution back in the day. That's the Lake Fork Tackle Zigzag, which is actually not even a thing. I mean, they sell it, you know, as a zigzag, but all it is the 10-inch worm. I got one laying right here, actually, rigged up on a drop shot that I cut off. But it's just a 10-inch worm with the ribbon tail part torn off. So that's what it is right there. Long, skinny thing. But that is the top part of a 10-inch worm, and then you would have the ribbon tail would be normally, you know, hanging down here. But you just tear that ribbon tail off, and you got the Lake Fork Tackle Zigzag. Hey, little heads up for you guys that don't know, this is how the stick bait actually started. Like a Senko was because somebody tore the tail off of this and fished it. That's how Senko got invented eventually. It, you know, evolved into that. But there you go. It's a little zigzag. That's a vintage lure, old school. To me it is, and I still fish it. I hadn't fished one in a long time, and last week when I was out there with Rackley and Lunkers, Rackley broke it out and started whooping on them. Then I pulled it out and finally caught a few fish on them, and now I've been having one tied on every day. It's funny how things cycle, and you get away from them, then you come back to them. It's funny how that happens. So. What other fish? Somebody asked. Their son wants to know, what other fish do I like catching? Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I like to catch any fish. I just like to catch bass more. Like, I don't ever I can't tell you the last time I went out and targeted another species. It's been years, like literally years, since I targeted another species. Probably my favorite though would have to be redfish. Going down to, you know, South Louisiana. Somewhere around the Gulf and fishing, you know, inshore for redfish, which is funny because that's the closest thing to bass fishing that you can get. But that's probably my next favorite, redfish. I really like catching those. What are my thoughts on the new 2017 Ranger boats? So my thoughts on the new 2017 Ranger boats are this right here. There's my thoughts on the new Ranger boats right there. Hope that answers that question. You gotta be quiet. No, I'm not done. So I had to come outside to get a better signal again. Man, you're right. Whoever said East Texas Wi-Fi sucks is absolutely correct. There's a little bit of a party going on right over in that direction. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but they got some jams going on over there. My kids are in the backyard messing with my wife. I don't know what's going on. My neighborhood's going crazy. Thanks for welcoming me back, Larry Sackett. I appreciate that. I forgot what we were talking about. Oh, somebody asked me who my favorite YouTuber was. My original favorite YouTubers were Tactical Bassin and Lake Fork Guy. And that was long before the Googans existed. Of course, I like all the Googan guys. I fish with them. They're cool, too. But originally, before I participated in YouTube, when I was just a fan, it was Tactical Bassin and Lake Fork Guy. Alright. Somebody hit me with a question again, since I lost my place here. Or maybe we're done. You want to be done? We done? We wrapping it up for the night? Hey, before you